is my co-pilot coming to say hi. Um, but yeah, I want it to be a lesson for you guys in what happens if somebody hurts you and you just carry that rage. It's going to cause you to want to go out and spray paint and cause destruction, because that's the quick fix. That's the easy answer. Gives you that quick release of whatever chemical it is. I don't know that it's endorphins, dopamine maybe, I don't know, but you get that quick release of, yeah, I got him. Not looking down the road to see the long-term consequences of what we do. When someone hurts you, someone hurt your CLR, someone hurt me, and I went down a path of destruction. I did. You know that very well, all too well. And I would have probably gotten to a point, or maybe not. No, I would never entered the legal system just so I could do these kinds of things. But your CLR, mom's divorce attorney, entered the legal system so that they could get revenge by proxy. If you don't know what that means, it means I'm going to get revenge on this person by getting revenge on that person. It's kind of ugly in that's where a lot of the things that people don't like come from. Give you an example. Your great grandmother was attacked by a couple black people when she was a teenager. And unfortunately, because of that, she became a racist. All throughout her life, she died a racist. She did. That was her experience. But she allowed two people, because of what happened to be the color of their skin, affect her decision making on all people with that skin color. Somebody more than likely hurt your CLR. Somebody might hurt you. And not only is it bad to try and get revenge on that person, because it's just going to drag you down. And it goes against every tenet of every major religion out there. All the valid ones anyway. Forgiveness and peace, and don't do that stuff. Treat other people like you want to be treated, Love one another as I've loved you, as they say. But it drags you down. And you can try and hide it. You can try and hide it as much as you can. Both of you girls are empaths like me. I think you both got that from me. And I can sense people's emotions instantly. I can read them like they're wearing a certain color. I can see it. The ones I can't see, well, those people actually have another emotional issue. When they're blank, oh my God, when they're blank, that's not good. That's a whole different thing. And if you come across that one, it's really best to steer clear of those people. The people who have emotion, if you can be steered one way, you can be steered back another. But look at Star Wars. Even Darth Vader came back to the good side, right? That was pretty late. Actually, that one was before your time. Kylo Ren. I mean, he killed Han Solo, for crying out loud. You girls cried when that happened. But he came back to the good side. And it's possible. It really is. But one of the biggest hurdles in life is overcoming that rage. That's why old Dad is on the treadmill. But even more so, overcoming that desire is realizing a couple things, really. One, that things come to an end in all sorts of different ways. Things come to an end. Like, for me, the pain that I experience is being away from you guys. Your CLR knows that and is trying to get revenge by proxy, by getting revenge and creating pain for me. I didn't play her game, so she's going to try and get revenge on me. It's not really me she's trying to get revenge on. But I forget where I was going with that, I swear, because my heart breaks for her. It really does, because I think she could be a good person. I think she could be, if she let this go. I think anybody could be a good person. I'm an idealist. I think anybody could be a good person. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe some people are just bad. So my therapist actually says. The therapist says some people are just bad. I don't believe that. I've met a lot of people who've gone through some gnarly stuff. And on the surface, you would think that they were bad. But they're just hurt. Like dogs. There's no such thing as a bad dog. Except a Chihuahua. Chihuahuas. Jeez. But every dog that I adopted, all those dogs, more dogs than you girls even remember, every one of them I brought back. I brought them back and made them happy and cuddling, and people would say to me, JJ, that's a pit bull. What are you doing? And then they would fall in love with that dog. A good friend of mine who stays in Florida, I'll never forget, he was adamant that he would never come over to the house because we had 2 pit bulls. Apollo, you remember Apollo. This guy met Apollo after having this concept of what Apollo was in his head. And when Apollo finally died, I posted about it on Facebook. I posted Apollo a little tribute. This guy said that he wept. I don't know if that's true or not. He said he wept because he and that dog had bonded. He would come over regularly because he had fallen in love with that dog. Even though Apollo, when we first got him, he was pretty damn vicious. But he needed love. He needed to be validated. You know, I know I'm harping on your CLR here, but I'm using her as an example. Whatever happened to her shouldn't have happened. It was wrong that that happened to her. Whatever made her this angry should not have happened. It's terrible. She should be validated and told that her hurt is legitimate. But at the same time, she needs to be encouraged to let it go. Too many times, I see things where people encourage that negativity. Like, yeah, get him. Yeah, teach him a lesson. It's not our place to teach people lessons. We say goodbye. Maybe later we can say hello again. But when we try and start teaching people lessons, that's that hurdle that we have to get over, that desire. I was going somewhere with this and I forgot. Oh, I remember. There's a pilot that I now follow on YouTube who is a female. She's a former Air Force Thunderbird. And I didn't know much about her, and I started following her. Now, there are female pilots out there that really don't deserve to be pilots. I'm sorry, it's true. There's a lot of males out there that don't deserve to be pilots. But there was a lot of women that got put in the position of pilots so that people could fill cockpits with females, and so companies could look good, or the military could look good. Michelle Curran, look her up, phenomenal, is not one of those women. This girl is as badass as they come, and the humility that she has. That's how you can tell somebody who's at peace, is humility. There's the desire for revenge comes from pride. Pride is not admitting our own faults and thinking that we are better than other people. There's no way that we can think, I'm going to get revenge on that person and also be a humble person. It's not possible. When I was in my state of revenge and nastiness and ugliness, I said things to Mom that I didn't even mean. And even more so, I meant them about me. Mom's the most beautiful woman that's ever existed on this planet, as far as I'm concerned. But I didn't say that to her. I would say terrible things that, in hindsight, looking back now, I meant them about me because I was angry at me. And even though I hated myself on the inside, on the outside, I came across as a very prideful person. Somebody would have thought that I had a lot of pride. Once you let that go and realize we're all just humans, every one of us, and every one of us just needs to be loved and validated. Oh, when I said the world changes, the world actually changes. I kid you not, girls. The very reason I was able to see what your CLR had planned without even talking to her was because of the eye-opening that I had when I gave up all that nastiness. Now I can see it from the outside. You can see people's intentions instantly. So, yeah. Anyway, I just sit here and get my steps in, and then I remember, oh yeah, knowing how to overcome the hurdles. So knowing there's an end. So again, and I'm harping on it, she can only do this for so long. And even if something happens to me, God forbid, before that date comes, well, you'll still know the reality of things. She can try to get protection orders, their favorite little tool to use. And it's all pointless. Because in the history of mankind, personkind, womankind, whatever you want to call it, no lie has ever succeeded. Every lie is exposed. Every single one. Every one. So there's an end. 2019 was 5 years ago. I remember 2019. My God, I can't believe it's 2024. It was 5 years ago. Grace, you're going to be 13 in a couple days. 5 years from now is going to fly by, and you'll be 18. As you watch this, you're probably already well past 18. But for me, I remind myself of that. And that's how I overcome that hurdle. I'm able to realize that there is an end. People like your CLR think that they can get away with this forever. They don't think about, well, what's going to happen in a few years? The people who are happy think, well, in a few years, it'll be okay. The other thing that I was really thinking about, and I wanted to share with you, I know you guys both said that you don't want to have kids. We'll see if that changes. Who knows? But if you ever become parents, the most important piece of information I can give you kind of ties into last week's podcast where I talked about treating people like equals. If you ever wanted an answer to a question, I gave you an answer to a question. If you were old enough to ask the question, you were old enough for the answer. And what that is treating people like equals. There is an unfortunate, terrible thing that goes on where parents, not just moms, but dads too, see their kids as property. Those kids are mine. No, they're not. Those kids are their own. They are their own people. You just happen to be the caretaker for them at this particular time. Someday, your kids are going to go out into the world and they'll make their own opinions about things. They'll form their own decisions. With your CLR now looking for protection orders so that you can't get any information from me, she wants to control the information that I give you. She views you as property. Maybe not of hers, but of Mom's. No, you can't. Mom doesn't agree that you should give them that information. Even though I'm your dad. Mom doesn't agree that you should give them that information, so you can't do it. I'm going to get a protection order so you can't give it to them. She views you as property, not a person. It's like the worst mistake a parent can make, thinking that their kid belongs to them. Nope. You've just been blessed with the opportunity to care for that child. And my God, it is a blessing. You'll never hear me complain about having to have stayed home with you guys and taken care of you guys. That was the biggest blessing I've ever had in my life. Anyway, so that's the podcast for the week. Just me walking along, dealing with the nonsense that came along from my bad decisions. And that's the reality of it. And I don't try to hide that. We are where we are because of my bad decisions. 100%. And I'm at peace with that. What I'm at peace with but disappointed in is people like your CLR who now use this as an opportunity. She got into the legal system simply so she could take these sorts of situations that we're in and try to use them to her own benefit. It's heartbreaking to watch. You see me just looking off into the distance. I keep thinking about her. And Mom. And all the other people out there that are hurt and acting out. I wish, with all that I am, I wish that I had the ability to show them what happens if you let that go. Girls, don't let it consume you. Grace, I hear you wrote me a letter. And I know what the letter is. I know. You're pissed. You're pissed I'm not around. Your CLR, who's supposed to be looking out for your best interests, reads that letter and takes it at face value. Doesn't read between the lines. Doesn't, and she does. She just ignores that part. See, Grace is upset with you. She doesn't want to see you anymore. Yeah, because you took her away from me and told her I abandoned her. Huh. Shocking. So she'll use that as a weapon now. And she'll continue down her path of destruction. And I'll just wait for another 5 years. Which, we're already almost there. That's 45 minutes down. All right. I love you, girls. Never let that rage consume you. Don't do it. You've seen what happens. This is it. If nothing else, take this lesson and go, oh, I know what happens to people when they get consumed by rage. Nothing good. Take it and do as I always tell you. Love one another as I love you. Okay? I can't wait to see you guys. But we'll probably have to get by these protection orders now. All right. Until next time. Well, until the next time you click. For me, a little while. Love you.